Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns.
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Yes, from bandits. Would you like us to give it back to them?
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. Without the Inquisition, Celine would have neither her throne nor her elven marquise.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Divine Victoria wishes to speak with you in private.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montillier, can you handle this for a short while?
Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Perhaps it would be best if we took a short recess. The guard said we should both see this. I believe she was correct. A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Tal Vashoth, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
So what would the left hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Qunari military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
Deadly mysteries at the Winter Palace. Throw in a Hala statue and some Caprice coins, and it's just like old times. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will extend the recess as long as possible. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
I am grievously regretful of the inconvenience, but you must all remain outside.
It looks like he came down over the railing. An active eluvian. If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. This is the crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the eluvians. I'd forgotten all the colors.
What are you talking about? Everything's all gray.
I wonder if it somehow looks different to elves. Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
What's wrong? That one doesn't like you?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Right. Let's see where this guy came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Qunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's Karashok, a foot soldier. Must have been in the same squad. Oh, this is gonna be fun. The old team together again to kick some ass. How about it, Katan?
We're doing the names, are we?
It's a title of honor, Kadan.
I need a drink.
Do you want your Amatus to cheer you up? I could do some of those flexes you like.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Qunari were here, and who did this to them. Over there, Qunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want? I think I know what to say. Armelana de Thavarin. Rivas Viranaris.
Seemed to work. What did you say?
It was part of a ritual. A secret greeting from those Fen'Harel trusted. If Mithal's Well of Sorrows knew this, were they close? Friends, or... I'm not sure. That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for Elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dread wolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune. That eluvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
Good for moving around a city, visiting friends, deploying guards. Cuts all over the back. He was killed by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
You bring your handkerchief?
I'm not allergic.
You always say that, and a half hour later you're taking mine.
Amatus, can you not fuss like an old... Aha! Let's move on, shall we?
So, we're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
Don't tell me the Viscount of Kirkwall misses skulking around and shooting people.
You've never been to the Viscount's Keep, have you, Sparkler? Spend 2 hours there and you'll be glad to be shot at.
This is Fen'Harel, helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
Kinda curious that this guy had to specify he wasn't a god.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
This claims the elven gods were just Evanuris. Powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Whoever ran this place was trying to rebuild the slaves' confidence. Get rid of old propaganda.
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
You alright, boss?
The anchor flared up. It's fine now. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
This place is creepy.
A letter by the Qunari. Why are they translating it into our language?
Seems like the Qunari weren't just passing through.
These Qunari were running when they died. Let's find where this battle began. Qunari!
Wash it on! The Inquisition's gonna be
Why did those Qunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
No idea. They weren't Talvashoth, though. This might be a rogue group, but they think they're following the Qun.
That's Fen'Harel. Removing a Dalish elf's Valasleen.
Isn't this place older than the Dalish?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. What's this? Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evenuris, posing as gods.
Interesting word, Evenuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Qunari came here before we go. This letter says the Qunari came to these ruins because the eluvians connect to Halamshiral.
So they're aiming for the Winter Palace.
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
This is crazy. They're acting like we're at war.
Are they?
I don't know, boss. I wish I did.
A note about an unknown intruder coming through an eluvian. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
It must be a mage. They killed any Qunari in the way and let the spirits do the rest.
Two parties, then. The Qunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them.
One dead Qunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Qunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using eluvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now, Your Holiness.
Cullen, please just call me Liliana.
Yes, Liliana.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Qunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
Could we use the Qunari threat to remind everyone how valuable the Inquisition still is?
Not until we know more. It will be fine. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
We, Your Holiness?
You do, Josie?
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing, and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Wish I hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hastrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I'd know things. I like knowing things.
The charges have been with the Inquisition for a while now. Is everyone still happy?
No complaints, Your Worship. The Inquisition's been good to us. We'd disband and join the Inquisition officially, but the Chief gets this sad dog look when we suggest it.
The loyalty is touching, Krem.
Hello, and shh. I'm trying to figure out why everyone is acting so weird. I mean, besides because Qunari assassins and everything. You see it, right? There's something going with the elf servants. Makes sense after that ruin, right?
When you start going on about elves, it's hard to tell if it's about them or you.
Yes, you're ever so clever. Arse. Point is, the servants have no complaints. No asking for a Jenny. They serve this lot, but don't want them done for anything.
So, the nobles are nice, and the servants are happy.
Two things that have never been true. Mark that I said it. We're fighting Qunari, but something else is on the up.
I suppose you've a lot to say about that elven ruin, about the creators.
They're not even demons, just big magey knobs punching down. And yes, the shits who use them to make me feel broken can still eat it. But always waiting for that fight is way too much work. It's like doing half the hurt for them. Maybe we're old now, but I'm tired of it. I'd rather worry about people I care about. Like you. Are you all right with it? The creators?
I'll make sense of it eventually.
Good that someone's trying. Better that it's you, because you can do it.
It's been a couple of years. How's everything sitting with you?
It's weird meeting back up and seeing everyone get their grey. First time I've been anywhere long enough to get fond of things. Liliana's friendly when she wants to be. My people sometimes do things for her, like I do for you. All that blood and thunder just so everyone can live well and I'll once around. Good lesson, I suppose, if there had to be one.
What is it like being a warden now?
Things are in upheaval. There have been heated arguments about the future of the Order. I wouldn't be surprised if we tore ourselves apart.
It's nice to have everyone back in the same place again.
I have to admit I missed it. What does it mean when we need a huge diplomatic talk or the world ending just to bring us together? I got the chance to have a few drinks with Sarah. Miss that girl. It's still a little awkward talking to Cassandra. But the commander appears to have forgiven me. Finally.
What do you think is going to happen at the Exalted Council?
Maker, I have no idea. Politics always makes my head spin. The Inquisition shouldn't have to give in whenever some prissy noble gets their knickers wedged somewhere.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
I hear you've been rebuilding the Seekers.
Slowly, but yes. I managed to find a few of my former comrades who'd scattered to the winds. Some of them were unsuitable, and I did not ask them to return. Others felt as I did, once they read the Lord Seeker's tome. We've since recruited a few candidates who are going through training now, with full disclosure. What comes after this, I cannot be certain. I'm making it up as I go along.
Sounds familiar.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
So what do you think of the Chantry?
You ask me just to poke at me and see if I react, don't you? It is what it is. Most Holy's reforms are interesting, to say the least. I hope they last once Liliana is gone. Regardless of what I think, it could have been far worse. You and I both remember the dark times we faced. Sadly, others have far shorter memories.
What do you think of the Exalted Council?
They are frightened of your power, and there is no longer a hole in the sky to remind them that it was needed.
Maybe what they need is a quick reminder of that power.
Only if you want to stiffen their resolve. Even so, I would wait and see where this leads. Calmer heads may yet prevail.
When has that ever been the case?
I'm an optimist. Just ask Varric.
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers for my next book.
So Bran used to be Viscount and now he just follows you around?
Provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
I don't understand how you could just become a Viscount.
When the ruler of a Marcher state dies and there's no heir, the nobles of the city pick a new ruler. Only none of Kirkwall's nobles actually want the throne. Most of them think it's cursed, actually. They can't leave it empty, though, or some other state like Starkhaven or Ansburg will probably invade. I complained about the empty office when it interfered with my reconstruction efforts. They took that as volunteering.
Is there anything I should know?
We were permitted soldiers here, but our every move is watched. Some things never change.
Do you remember the first time we came to the Winter Palace?
All too well. I've already answered a half-dozen questions about my personal life. The reason we're here is because we made a difference. That's worth enduring the political small talk.
Have you had a chance to speak with Liliana? Away from work, I mean.
Some, yes. Liliana has kept in contact, unofficially of course, but it's good to see her again. Arguing with her in person is far more satisfying.
Is there any news from Ferelden? How's your family?
My sister Mia keeps me informed. As I understand, she's training my nephew to best me at chess.
I sense a threat to my commander's chess superiority. I'm sure the defeat will be distressing.
He's 4. You could at least pretend I'd throw the game.
Divine Victoria.
Please don't. It would be nice to just be Liliana again for a few days.
As you command, most holy. Have your agents any news I should hear about?
There is activity in the Tirashan. Strange elves, like those at the Temple of Mythal. No news of Solus, however.
Do you miss being our spy master?
I think I miss the people more than the work. Josie, Cullen, I didn't notice how much I liked having them near until they weren't. We write, of course, but it's not the same.
Tell me about your nugs. Did you get any new ones?
Oh yes! A litter was born just a month ago. We are weaning them right now. If you are hoping for one, I'm afraid they're already spoken for.
How are things between you and the hero of Ferelden?
We see each other whenever we can. There is gossip, of course. People will call me inappropriate. But love is one of the Maker's greatest gifts, and nothing to be ashamed of. Start and end with love, and everything else falls into place. As Divine, I have tried to spread this message. It's taken some time, but I think people are listening, especially now.
Perhaps later, Liliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything.
I wanted your opinion of how Divine Victoria is working out.
Leliana is managing to hold the Chantry together, just barely. Likely your influence.
How are things for the Circle of Magi?
If you call it the Circle while they're in earshot, you'll never hear the end of it, my dear. The College of Enchanters is a ridiculous mess, but it's still a useful institution for training mages.
Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on.
What is this ambassadorship about exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Tevinter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
Things are going well with the bull, I take it?
He's happy I've returned, if that's what you mean. Nearly crushed 3 of my ribs with that ridiculous hug.
You say that as if you didn't like it.
For such a great beast, he's a terrible sap.
I want to talk about my feelings, Dorian.
You do like it.
Quiet, you. Get over here. And then where will I be?
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. Father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Carinus to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor, for one. From the paintings of Leliana in that enormous robe, you'd think she was pregnant. Could cause a delicious scandal. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well, I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
The Guardian Spirit stayed, not bound, but biding, because he asked. He knows how to speak, so spirits listen. It always had a soul. The question is the answer. Barefaced but free, frolicking, fighting fierce. He wants to give wisdom, not orders. His friend had to die because he thought they were people. A slow arrow breaks in the sad wolf's jaws. The spirits have fled, flying, fluttering, fast to the farthest fade. They're afraid of the veil tearing again. Hello? He did not want a body, but she asked him to come. He left a scar when he burned her off his face. It was the same boy. His mother on the ship, his father in their homeland. He grew up lonely. Or didn't. Hello? He broke the dreams to stop the old dreams from waking. The wolf chews its leg off to escape the trap. She killed the girl to save herself. She thinks about the eyes going black. A weapon is an order, not a gift. They made bodies from the earth, and the earth was afraid. It fought back, but they made it forget. Being this, being me, it's harder, but better. I like me. Meriden laughs at things I say. Hello? If you leave and come back, the chest gives you another. That's how we know too much. Her name is different now. Victoria. The old name slips away further each time. She's glad you're here. Hello? He died in the darkness so a blue rose could bloom. Rainier, Rainier, Rainier. It still hurts, but you helped make it better. He can mend it now. Sometimes the cow takes your gold. Hello? Your hand hurts. A heartbeat, not yours, hammering the beat of a song in its final verse. I'm sorry.
Tell me, these strange spaces past the eluvians, are they safe to explore?
None of it's been as bad as the nightmare in the Fade. I can tell you that.
I will take your word for it. And yet, you've accomplished so much in the calm of these past years. I wish you did not have to imperil yourself for us. Again.
I must admit, After years of dinners and paperwork, it feels good to go exploring again.
I only wish you had fewer Qunari interrupting your stroll. I will do what I can here. Once the Qunari are dealt with, brace yourself. The Council is just as relentless.